Hi there. So, in my previous video, I talked about imposter syndrome and how it still affects me, like, although I already have the life that I somehow imagined, I already have the kind of future that I like to have, and I'm somehow living on a timeline where I feel like things are going well. On the surface, I look like somebody who has put up or like who has it together. I look like on the surface like somebody who has put everything together. But deep down, I'm still in the middle of recovering from everything. Like, I'm still in the middle of repairing myself from everything that happened to me in the past. And it's so weird because it feels so lonely somehow. Because I feel like I'm the only one who does this. And because I'm the only one who does this, it makes me feel like crazy sometimes. I feel like because I'm the only one who I feel like I'm the only one who thinks about what happened to me, and I felt like I'm the only one who's left with a job to understand what actually happened to me. Although it was supposed to be the adult's job to educate me with everything, but it seems like now that I'm in my adulthood, I'm in a position where I have to take on the job, which they didn't take. And because of taking the job of repairing myself, where I'm now like with a clarity. It's so weird because maybe my childhood brought me so much pain that I grew up with this thinking of being alone, and I'm able to do things alone and being able to survive alone. And because of this mindset that I brought, and really at the core of me, it becomes a challenge in adulthood because of this tendency to do things, everything, literally everything on my own. To the point like I don't believe in the higher powers, to the point that I don't believe in magic, to the point that I don't believe in something that is not seen, to the point like I believe that life is all that there is. What is seen, tangible, what is visible to the naked eye. But like I'm a planner, and I think I've mentioned that in some parts of my video where I love to plan my life. I have a planner, and I really have detailed written notes about what should I do, what I should do today and in the next day. And I really have this disciplined life. Where every morning I start with the task that I already wrote last night or planned last night. And I even have a planner for the month and for the year. And I was that kind of person. Like I want to utilize my time as much as possible. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste a second. I don't want to the point like I break friendships somehow. I don't because I don't allow and I can't tolerate wishy-washy conversations. If you're not useful to me, if I can find any use to you, then why should I even spend a second with you? And it's because it's like rooted from my childhood where I learned to be alone. I learned to defend myself, how to defend myself against adults who were easily believed that they were right because they were adults. And who was I? I was just a kid. I was just this third grader who doesn't know anything about life and all blah blah, you know. And because of that, it's like as an adult, I have that thinking where it makes me doubt myself. It makes me feel like susceptible to imposter syndrome, to feeling like I can't really do anything at all in life, or being unable. Although the more that I'm separated from this culture and society that molded me with this kind of upbringing and mindset, it makes me like feel challenged. How much was taken away from me. And to say that I want to reclaim my power back, it's easy to say than done. Because like I really thought, like, although I've already spent 3 years in my shadow work and I've already written some parts of that shadow work into fiction and into books, published books, which you can read and buy, and there's something already, but still I'm still drowning with this feeling that I can't do anything at all. A nagging feeling where you can't do anything at all. Measured, how much should you earn, how much should you sell? And it's so deep, but I haven't realized how deep it is because, like I said, I'm in my third year in my shadow work, but it's still like a feeling that forces me to go back in my third grade, or in my entire grade school, high school, college, where I feel like I've not given enough, or have not given my entirety, my all to something. Although I already felt burnout, I already was burning out, but I still feel like I haven't done enough. That feeling, like to the point, like in classes, I slept in classes because I was just so exhausted from everything, but I still feel like I haven't done enough. And in my adulthood, in my 30s, I'm married now, I'm in Germany, but I still feel like the same. I still feel like I haven't done enough. Although I'm burning out, I feel like things have gotten so melancholy and everything seems to be fine because I have to be fine. I have to be fine. Because that's what I would like to tell myself, I have to be fine. Although deep inside, it's hard to even meet your old self. Because your old self, it's like, imagine yourself in the mirror. You look at your old self. She's wearing your clothes. Whatever she will say and do, because your umbilical cords are kind of connected together, and it's so like twins. It's like you're the dichotomy, your shadow. Imagine your shadow looking at you directly straight in the eye, and then you kind of like, what she will say, what she will do with you, against you. You will know that whatever she will say, it will hurt you because this was you. And somehow, like, because you're looking at her, you're also convinced like this woman is already away or removed from me because I don't feel her skin. She already has her own skin. It's like forming a new her, and she became this new person, and I'm becoming this new person because she came out of me. She was removed in my system, and now my system is somehow confused because it's like my eyes see what I used to know, but my body is confused. Because your body feels like, because I don't know how to explain that. It's like you're looking at her, your body wants to feel what she felt or she feels right now. Your body wants to remember that but can't. And then your brain is so confused, what should I do now? Although somehow you're grounded, you kinda know where you are, you know what to say, what to do, and kinda what to expect from her, but you still feel this familiarity, this odd familiarity, attachment. like the umbilical cord is still there. And she's looking at you. She's looking at you with this mindset, ego that you used to know. And you know that, the pain you went through. You went through all the shadow work. You went through all those embracing your shadows and all this crap just to remove her from your system, from your body. And now she's a solid mass. She's not an apparition anymore. She's looking directly at you. It's so weird because you're still wearing the same jacket, winter jacket, the same pants. But it's a feeling where you know this woman, and she's telling you something like, you can't do enough. Remember what happened to you at grade school? You were so ambitious. And then you remember when you were 15, when you told your classmates that someday you will become an author. They laughed. Because who dares to dream so big? How dare you dream so big when all of us can even afford a tuition fee? How dare you dream so big when all of us can even afford lunch? How dare you dream something big when we cannot afford? In college, I had this big project where we collect bottles. And then when I proposed that, they laughed at me. And then I pursued, although I'm being mocked at. And like, look at her, she's picking bottles now. And I endured that, all the looks, long looks, and like, come on, she's at the top, like she's the dean's list, she's look at her, she chooses to pick up bottles, look at that. The others were like, see, look at them, like they're looking at us, like so what, they were looking at us. So what? Who cares if they're looking at us? We have money anyway. We did that with uniforms and ID. They could even look at our faces and the ID. They would even know what our names are, what our courses are. Just by saying, excuse me, can I take your bottles? Are you done with your bottles? When we look like beggars and all, but we didn't care. I didn't care. Although my teammates were like, should we stop this? I said no. We keep going. So I'm that kind of person where I have these big ideas. I have these ideas and things, but it's whenever I share it with others, it's always having this reaction. And because of that, I learned to be silent. I learned to shut off. I learned to isolate. And now, like, to the point where I isolated it way too much, to the point where I don't know myself. I'm kind of lost. I was lost and all. And now, after all the shadow work, after all years of shadow work, after writing several novels out of that shadow work, and somehow I've released layers and layers and layers of the dark, thick jacket I have. This woman is now a personified being. And I could just see myself looking at her straight in the eye and say all the words that I used to say to myself. And now she's telling me directly straight to my ears. Excuse me. And that's the feeling I'm feeling right now. And it's kind of weird because it makes me feel still like I kind of still embody her, because there's like I said, familiarity, attachment, and all that. And this woman knows the identity she used to practice and wear like masks all day long, depending on the person that she used to meet, because she wants to be nice, because she's a nice girl, perfect daughter. But the me now, she experienced way too much and have opened a lot spiritually. I've experienced way too many magical stuff to still believe that life is what we make it. Just she used to believe that like life is what we make it. Solid Saturn, like what you do is what you live. Like it's healthy, yeah. But in her perspective, it's like there's no way out. Life is what we make it. And because she's working under like the logical mind and unconscious egoic decisions, she believes that she will end up with a tragedy. She believes that life will always be miserable. Life will always be dark and gray for her, black and white. That's her. Anyway, I just had to get out to get some ticket. So I basically forgot what I wanted to say before, but the point was, like the whole point of this video is just to tell you that even in my space, even in my position right now, where on the surface I look like I have all my life that I wanted, or I have been doing the things that I love to do, but deep inside I still feel I'm suffering. I'm suffering in a way where I have this acknowledgement that I'm suffering emotionally, spiritually, because of the very things that I thought I have already forgiven and removed from my system. But it's just like in my 30s that I realized that everything has been so deep-seated that at least right now in my 30s I know that these things have been lurking around me. So at least I have, like this is something that I can write about, this is something I can journal or to let go of. And that's why like today in this video I like to share with you that a simple exercise where you reconnect with your childhood memories, the good and the bad, and then you can write then on the lower part where you also have the best and the worst recent memories. So in this sheet, and there will be 2 pages on this worksheet, which you can click in the description. You don't have to sign up, it's a free worksheet, so you can just click on the link and it will take you to a drive, and you can just print it and have your own copy and do it on your own. But for this exercise, I made this exercise on my own too. So as you can see in this part of the video, where I'll be like whatever I've been talking right now, this will be all written in this sheet. So all the worst memories that I have in childhood and all the best memories that I have in childhood. And then below on the page, I also have the worst recent memories, and on the lower right side of the page I have the worst recent memories. So why is that? Why do I like, or why do I want you to recollect all these memories? Because at least like we try to hide and ignore or shrug off all the memories that we have in childhood, thinking that they're in childhood and they should remain in childhood. But you don't know that unconsciously all these childhood memories and childhood trauma, like this childhood thing is still affecting you as an adult. And like there are some people where like you don't notice people where when people say like specific line, and then they kind of freak out and what are you telling me, you told me like the other person's just saying something, and then this person is kind of overreacting to things that shouldn't be, but these are childhood things, and these are unconscious things, and they come out when we're drunk. These come out when we're high, when we're drunk, when we're stoned. When not really stoned, you relax when you're stoned. Correction. Anyway, like when you're drunk, when you're out of control, when our ego's removed, like we kind of labeled as um mentally disabled, where you really have no ego at all. You're just freaking out pure. So that's kind of like your full unconscious thoughts, full blown. So, and we think that we're exempted from that. You think that you're exempted because you're a clean slate, but you don't know what you're doing when you're drunk. You don't know what you will do when you're high. Anyway,